Hello friends, this is video 8 in English now. In this video, we will continue the basics of latitude and longitude. We will focus on longitude. Here is the earth. Here is the prime meridian. I told you the prime meridian passes through Greenwich in London. Why and what is international date line opposite it? Let's discuss. So now we have prime meridian here. On 3 dimension it is like this on the earth. On the opposite side of this is international date line. How have we divided this? The meridian, you may also find the spelling as this in some books. Meri means sun's highest position. And this means day. So the time at which the sun is at the highest position in the sky, for example here on prime meridian, it will be 12 o'clock, 12 noon, not 12 midnight. 12 o'clock may mean both 12 noon and 12 midnight. So it will be 12 noon when sun will be here, and this place will be, this whole meridian will see sun directly overhead. At no other place it can see sun overhead, only at this location directly in front of the sun. So now convention is that the whole angle, let's say from here, the earth turns north, east, west, south. Earth moves from west to east. So this way the earth moves and the point comes back. That's one day, 24 hours. How much has the earth moved in this time? 360 degree. Since by convention this angle is 360 degree, this angle is 90 degree, this angle is 180 degree. So earth has moved 360 degree. Therefore in 1 hour it will be moving 360 upon 24 degrees. How much this is? 15 degrees. 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 60 minutes is 15 degree. Therefore 15 degree is 60 minutes. Or 1 degree is equal to 4 minutes. What have we calculated here? The earth is here. Prime meridian passes through here. It rotates a little from west to east. If the rotation is 1 degree, how much time will it take? We have all calculated this from simple one fact that in 24 hours it moves 360 degree. If it moves 24 hours in 360, if it moves 360 degree in 24 hours, it must be moving 1 hour 15 degree. 15 degree, that's 1 minute. 15 degree, another 15 degree, 2 hours, and so on. And the same thing means only 1 degree, this movement is 4 minutes. This is nothing but your CSAT. I told you everything will go with everything we will cover simultaneously. So what have we calculated this? The earth moves from west to east. So this way, this way. So now for the places here to the east of prime meridian, they would have already seen the sun overhead. If it is 12 noon here on prime meridian, these places must have seen the sun overhead already, and these are about to come under the sun overhead. 12 noon will come here later. Here already 12 noon has passed. How? Here is prime meridian. These places west to east, this way. So these places will come under the sun later. And if prime meridian is right now here, sun must have been overhead here earlier. And now prime meridian has come overhead. Later these places will come. So these places, for every 15 degree, these places must be 1 hour ahead. For every 15 degree, this place must be 2 hours ahead from prime meridian or 1 hour ahead from the previous 15 degree east. So here we add 1 degree 1 hour for every time we move here. So for 15 degree east, what will be the time? 15 degree east means we are moving here, so this place must have already seen the sun. So if it is 12 noon at prime meridian, what is 15 degree? 1 hour ahead. 1 hour ahead means 1 p.m. Why p.m? Because this place must have already seen the sun overhead 1 hour earlier. 1 hour earlier it was 12 noon here. What about 15 degree west? It will see the sun overhead after it rotates 15 degree and comes under the sun overhead. So the time must be 1 hour behind. So the time must be 11 a.m. If this is the case, similarly you can calculate for any instance. For example, in case of India, India is somewhere here. This is North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa and Australia. Australia I have shown here. Australia is actually here, not here. So this is the case. From India, India looks something like this. The multiples of 15 degree are 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105 degree east or west, both are possible. So from India, two longitudes pass which are multiple of 15 degree, which give us multiple of 1 hour ahead, 75 degree east and 90 degree east. 75 and 90 degree. Both of them pass at the end. So what do? We choose the middle one. What is the middle one? 82.5 degree east. What is the time here? I told you the time is when the sun is directly overhead. At 15 degree east, it must be 5 hours ahead of Greenwich. If 15 degree is 1 hour and I am moving east, this place must have already seen the sun overhead 5 hours earlier. If it is 12 noon at prime meridian at Greenwich in London, so this must be 5 p.m. if there is 12 noon at Greenwich. Similarly here 15 6 is 90, so this is 6 hours ahead, and it is p.m. because it is east. In east the time is already advanced because 12 noon there has already passed. 5 hours earlier sun was overhead here, 6 hours earlier sun was overhead here. So now if we choose this is at one end, this is at one end, so we choose the middle one, which gives 5 hours 30 minutes. 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. 5 hours ahead, 6 hours ahead, 5 hours 30 minutes ahead. What does that mean? When it will be 12 noon at Greenwich, the India time would be 5:30 p.m. If it is 5:30 p.m. at Greenwich, India is 11 hours 5 hours 30 minutes ahead. So add 5:30 to this. So we add 5:30 to this. How much do we get? 11 p.m. If it is 5:30 p.m. at Greenwich, it must be 11 p.m. in India. And if it is 11 p.m. at Greenwich, so 11 p.m. means 11 p.m. of which date? Today's date, let's say 1st June. So when it is 11 p.m. 1st June here at Greenwich, what will be the time in India? 5 hours 30 minutes to be added. 5 hours when added means 16. 16:30 means 4:30 a.m. 16:30 means what? 12 plus 4:30. 4:30 a.m. of what? 2nd June. We are moving on to next time. So when it is 11 p.m. at prime meridian, it must be 4:30 AM 2nd of June here. Okay, clear? This is the prime meridian and various other meridians. These are known as standard meridians. This is the standard meridian of the whole world. This maintains Greenwich Mean Time, or it is also known as world time. Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich, it passes through there, and the whole world adjusts its clock forward or backwards, or if that country lies over this prime meridian and chooses this meridian, then it will follow this time. Otherwise, if India is to the east, it will add some hours in its time. If India is to the west, if India would have been to the west, for example US is in the west, US will subtract some time, and that's how you can calculate. For example, if a place is, let's say, 105 degree east and it is 12 noon at Greenwich, what would be the time here? 15 multiply by 7. 15, this is 15 degree multiply by 7, or simply put, divide it by 15 degree east to get the time in hours, because 15 degree east per hour. So hour goes at the top, east से east gone, 15 7 ja, so 7 hours. 7 hours, it is east, so it must be added. So if it is 12 noon here, it must be 7 PM there. Okay, that's how you can calculate. This becomes the meridian followed by a country becomes standard meridian. Some countries are very large. For example, Russia. Russia is from here to here. So Russia follows 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 different time zones. Russia looks something like this, let's say. So it will follow 11 different time zones. What does that mean? 11 different time zones means this is the first one, this is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th and 11th. So now what will happen? What is happening actually? The sun is overhead here, then it keeps moving here as earth rotates this way. So this place is way behind this place, and hence the people here will move their clock according to this meridian. The people here will move their clock according to this meridian, and so on. This will be the difference. Similarly, US follows 5. US here follows 5 different meridians. So people in New York, which is here, follow different time. People in Los Angeles, LA, which is here, follow different time. You can follow, generally countries follow the multiple of 15 to easily add 1 or 2 or 3 hours, etc., or a multiple of 7.5. A multiple of 15 gives 1 hour. Multiple of 7.5 gives half hours. So anything can be added. For example, 82.5 degree, 5.5 hours. No one actually goes to the half of this one, that is 7.5. Half of 7.5 would be 3.75 degree. This is 15 minutes or 1/4 hour. No one actually follows this, because otherwise in that case they may have to add 5 hours 15 minutes and complications become difficult. So it is best if you choose someone which is much more suitable. So now let's come to international date line. If it is 12 noon at Greenwich and the earth has total 24 hours. So here is the prime meridian, let's say. Now you move here, you move here. There must be 12 hours here and 12 hours here, because this is the prime meridian. So you move 12 hours, you come to international date line. You again move 12 hours here, you come to international date line. If you are moving through here, you reach here. If you are moving through here, you reach here. This is 180 degree east, this is 180 degree west. Both of them are same lines. 180 degree east is opposite line, 180 degree west is opposite line. So you are reaching the same place. But for these places, let's say it is 12 noon at Greenwich. You add the time. So it is 1 p.m. here, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. and then 12 a.m. If it is 12 noon of 1st June here, today is 1st June when I am recording this video. So now it is 1st June here. If it is 12 noon 1st June here, it must be 1 p.m. 1st June, 2 p.m. 1st June, 3 p.m. 1st June, 11 p.m. 1st June and then 11 p.m. 1st June and then 12 a.m. 2nd June. The next 1 hour added to 11 p.m. 1st June will give me 12 a.m. 2nd June. Similarly, now let's come back. It is 12 noon 1st June. Here it must be 11 a.m. 1st June, 10 a.m. 1st June, 9 a.m. 1st June, 8 a.m. 1st June and so on. The second last would be 1 a.m. 1st June. What would the previous one be? 12 a.m. 1st June. Here it is 1st June, same as this one, prime meridian. Here you are moving 1 day advanced. So on international date line, the time is the same, 12 a.m., 12 a.m. The date changes, 1st June and 2nd June. Here is prime meridian. You are moving east, you are losing time. And in the west you are gaining more time. So when you are moving east and losing time, if it is 12 noon here, it must have been 1 p.m. here. It has already seen the sun overhead because earth is moving west to east. So this is seeing sun overhead, it must have seen 1 hour ahead and so on. So now it is 1 p.m. same day, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9, 10, 11 p.m. and then the new day will start appearing here. If it is 12 noon at prime meridian, at international date line, what would appear? 2nd of June will be appearing for the first time. If you move prime meridian from here, you are sitting in an aeroplane and you are moving here. So what are you doing? You are moving to 11 a.m. The time, in case of west, you gain time. I will gain 1 hour here because after 1 hour this place will have 12 o'clock time. This place has 12 o'clock right now. So 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then 1 a.m. Before 1 a.m. I will have 12 a.m. of 1st June of this date itself, assuming it is 12 noon 1st June. So the opposite line, which is the same one, will have the time as 12 a.m. but date as 1st June and 2nd June. So what will happen? On the opposite side of prime meridian here, since I am moving from here the 2nd of June is almost appearing. Here 1st of June has just appeared. 1st of June 12 a.m. means now all of 1st of June will come here. What is here? North America and South America. What is here? This Japan and Australia and New Zealand. How? This is the prime meridian. Let's keep moving it here. If this is the prime meridian, Greenwich must be here, Europe must be here, Asia must be here, Africa here, Australia here. And if this is the prime meridian through Greenwich, then North America must be here, South America must be here. So let's move it 12 hours. So now North America, South America are here. And what is here? Asia and Australia Asia, Japan, Australia. So Asia, Japan, Australia are here. Here is the international dateline, and now this is why Japan is the land of the rising sun. It is the land where the day appears for the first time. That is Japan and New Zealand, both on both of them the date appears for the first time this way. If you don't understand it, that's because you are not able to comprehend this in your mind. Please use any circular object you may have at your room. Make some markings of the prime meridian and the international dateline. Then try to imagine this, and this to understand how we gain or lose time. All this comes because at any place on earth, as close as possible, we want to get a meridian there where sun's highest position during the day is at 12 noon. So why have we made it 5:30 ahead? Because if it would have been 12 noon here, then what would be the time here? 5 hours 30 minutes before it. What would be the time? 6:30 AM, because at prime meridian, because when you add 5:30 to it, what do you get? 12 o'clock. So when the people in India, here is the prime meridian, India must be here. When people in India are watching the sun overhead after 5 hours 30 minutes, they will see overhead. So when India has 12 noon, the prime meridian, Greenwich, and all the countries lying on that meridian, following that meridian, should have the time as 6:30 AM. This is how international dateline works. So now what will happen if I cross the international dateline? Let's see. I want to cross the international dateline. How and what would happen? Let's make this diagram this way. I have made prime meridian at the center. Now let's shift prime meridian to both these sides, and let's show 180 degree east and west in the middle. This is 180 degree east and west. Now how would countries be drawn? Here is what? UK, and here is what? This place is the same. This is the Greenwich. This is 0 degree east. This is again 0 degree east or 0 degree west. This is 180 degree east or west. Now here is the location. Now are you able to understand this diagram? I have simply rotated the earth 12 hours. This place comes here, this place goes here, and hence also goes here. And after 12 hours, this will shift out of this one, and North and South America will come here. Japan will become the first one to see the new day. So international dateline works this way. Now what is happening here? If it is 12 noon here of 1st June, the same is here, 12 noon 1st June. Half part of UK is here, half part of UK is here. Glasgow line is on this line, so half of Glasgow is half of Greenwich is here, half of Greenwich is here. So the time must be same, 12 noon 1st June. In this direction I am moving east of Greenwich. In this direction I will be moving west of Greenwich. So if this is having 12 noon 1st June, all these places must be having 11 am, 10 am, 9 am, so on. and at this place somewhere it will be 1 a.m. 1st June. And what about this one? At east I will add, so it is, if it is 12 noon, it is 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m, so, and here it will be something like the second last time zone will be 11 p.m. 1st June. What will happen here? On international dateline, theoretically I will get both 1st June, because when I am coming here, 1st June is only beginning on the earth, and when I am reaching from here, 1st June is ending. So on this line I will also get 2nd June. This becomes my international dateline. So at this point, when it is 11 p.m. 1st June, it is almost 2nd June. After 1 hour, 2nd June will come on this meridian, and on this meridian 2nd June will come after 1 hour. On this meridian it is 1 a.m. 1st June. So on the prime meridian, 1st June has appeared for the first time on earth. From here, 2nd June has appeared on the prime meridian on earth. So now when I am crossing the meridian from east to west, I am moving from 2nd June to 1st June. I am moving from 2nd June to 1st June. So I will be getting a 1 day extra. This is called east gain add. Now if I am moving from west to east, I was about to see 1st June beginning, but now I will be seeing 2nd June beginning. I am losing a day. West lose 1 day. WL, west lose, east gain a day. Just remember this. And that's how international dateline works. All this happens simply because we wanted the sun to be overhead at 12 o'clock at all places on earth as much as possible. Obviously, if the meridian of a location is the time at which the sun is overhead, so let's say we move 1 degree here, from 82.5 degree we move 83.5 degree east. 1 degree is how much? 4 minutes. If the time is 5:30 p.m. here, what will be the time? 83.5 degree here, 5:30, 4 p.m. We will be adding 4 minutes because we have moved 1 degree and we have moved east, so we will be adding. What would be the time at 81.5 degree east? We have moved from 82.5 degree east to 81 degree east, so we have moved west. So we will be subtracting from 5:30 p.m. 4 minutes, 5:26 p.m. So obviously if every meridian were to follow its own time, there will be a lot of confusion. A person located here will maintain a different time, person located here will maintain a different time. So the whole country adopts one time. So this is simply theoretically true, that at any point of time on any meridian, sun is directly overhead. Actually in India at all times we assume sun is overhead here and we will choose that time. All of India will use that time. This becomes your international time zones, how time is measured around the earth. This becomes IST. Just as Greenwich Mean Time is GMT, this is Indian Standard Time. I told you this is standard time which a country adopts. If Russia has adopted 11 time zones, it has 11 standard times. So this is Indian, this has been adopted by India, and this is the standard adopted by India, so this is Indian Standard Time. Russia will have 11 standard times. US will have 5 standard times. This brings us to the end of longitudes, the basics about longitudes. Let's move on to India longitudes and governmental issues because of this. Now I told you that we follow one longitude so that all of India follows one time, and this becomes simply a hypothesis that everyone is following the time at according to the fact that at that time sun is directly overhead over them. This is not true. For these people they are following the time when sun is overhead here. So now what problem does this make? Now we can follow three. We could have followed either of the three longitudes, 75 degree, 82.5 degree and 90 degree, but we followed this one. So there comes an issue. What is the issue? Let's say we followed 75 degree east, so it passes through, let's say, Gujarat. So now all of India would be living according to the people of Gujarat. We would be waking up, we would be going to office, we would be coming back from office at 5 p.m. according to the people of Gujarat. So when people of Gujarat will be waking up, since earth rotates from west to east, Arunachal Pradesh will see the sun the first. Here is prime meridian, India is somewhere here, earth rotates from west to east. So when India is here, Arunachal Pradesh is here, Gujarat is here. So when the earth is rotating, Arunachal Pradesh will see the sun first, then Gujarat will see, then Arunachal Pradesh will see the night the first, then at last Gujarat will start seeing the night. So now all of India is following according to these people, Gujarat people. Now what problem will come? Everyone will be waking up according to the Gujarat people. So sun would have already passed from here. The sun would have already passed from here. The difference between 75 degree and 90 degree is 1 hour approximately. So now people of Arunachal Pradesh would be already awake 1 hour earlier, and then they will start getting ready. The sun would have already come here and then reached Gujarat. The people of Arunachal Pradesh would be already awake, and then they will have to wait. People of Gujarat, they are best suited. Similarly, in the morning, the people of Gujarat will wake up late and they stand to benefit, and the people of Arunachal Pradesh will already be awake and have nothing to do. In the evening, when the time is 5 p.m, when people have to go home from office, there will be already night here, or at least like dusk or something, when night is about to appear in Arunachal Pradesh, because Arunachal Pradesh goes out of sun earlier. Then when sun will actually be showing 5 p.m. here, then the people of Gujarat will be going home. So all of India will be living according to the people of Gujarat. So these people will keep awake a lot, and in the night, and when office hours will end, they will be coming home in night using the light beam of their vehicles. There could be a lot of accidents. If we follow 90 degree east, let's say we follow according to northeast, what would happen? These people will see sun the first. Arunachal Pradesh sees the sun the first. Earth rotates from west to east. East will come under the sun earlier. So if all of them are working according to this one, 90 degree east, what is happening? The people will wake up according to this. The people of Gujarat will wake up in the night, because they are waking, let's say they are waking up at 6 a.m. when the first rays of the sun are appearing. Gujarat is still in the darkness. Here is India, so it is moving like this. So here is Arunachal Pradesh, here is Gujarat. Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat, it's moving this way. Sun is here. Arunachal Pradesh sees the first light. Gujarat is still in the dark. It will see after 1 or 2 hours. So people of Gujarat will have to wake up in the night, and then In the evening, Arunachal Pradesh time is being followed, 90 degree east is being followed, so they will go home at 5 p.m. and they will be going home at, let's say they are 2 hours ahead or 1 hour ahead, so 4 p.m. So they will have a lot of evening. They will be awake for a lot of time when evening is very long. So the benefit is that they will get a lot of leisure time in the evening. The loss is that they will have to wake up in the middle of the night, and that's why we follow 82.5 degree east. Now a question may come, because this is a political issue actually in India. This is an issue, this is a real issue. The people of Northeast have said to the central government in the past, start following 90 degree or divided it into 2 time zones. What are the 2 time zones? Russia follows 11, so we can follow 2, 82.5 degree east for this India, 90 degree east for Northeast. What will be the problem in that case? In that case, when you move from Northeast to here, or a Northeasterner moves from Northeast to this India, they will have to adjust the clocks. First problem. Second, I have to book a ticket from Delhi to Guwahati in Assam in Northeast. So the airport website will show me the time according to this meridian when my flight will leave, but it will show me the time according to this meridian when my flight will arrive. So now I will be very confused. Exactly when am I reaching? Would I be making it to my conference? Would I be making to my meeting, or would I be late, or would I be very early? Also, the people of Northeast will feel some psychological gap, some psychological distance from us, from the people here, because they follow 2 time zones. So the forces which want to secede, that is forces which want to make their country, make their region another country. For example, some people living in Nagaland, some Nagas, not all, some Nagas want sovereignty. Sovereignty means they want to make their region into a different country. These forces will become stronger. How? When there is a gap between Indian time is different, Northeastern time is different, they will say that we want to make our own country, we don't follow your time. And hence Indian government has rejected this demand, and we are still sticking to 82.5 degree east. So now let's say a question comes in the exam for 15 marks in mains in GS1 in geography. Should we shift to 90 degree east plus 82.5 degree east time 2 time zones, or should we move to 90 degree east time zone? Let's say this is the question. Question number 11th. This is the first question in GS1 of 15 marks. 1 to 10 are of 5 marks. Or this. Okay. These two are this is the question. This is a single line question of 2 parts. So now 15 marks means you get 3 sheets. These 2 in front of you, and the third one behind this. So something like this. There are 2 ways to attempt this question. Now suppose you are suppose you are a beginner for whom I am recording this. So now what would you do? You will see the question here in Hindi here, and then you will write like this. Keep writing text. You will keep writing 90 degree this, 90 degree that, 82.5 degree east, that, and you will finish somewhere here. In this case, let's say you know everything, you understood it completely. What is the problem? The examiner will be bored. Your answer looks bad. It's not good to read. You will lose marks despite knowing the same thing. What would an expert write who is good at this? That person, for example, someone like me who has joined test series a lot and has understood what UPSC demands. See, UPSC demands an administrator, not a researcher. You don't have to be very good at geography, you just have to know it enough to run the government and to handle things if they come in the future. If tomorrow you are a Home Secretary of India and Northeast raises the demand that please move it to 90° east, then you should be able to handle. UPSC selects administrator, not researcher. The job of an administrator is to make everything easy to understand for everyone, to prepare reports and so on. You need to be able to convince the politician about the details. You need to be able to explain it to him. A person who writes simple text without any paragraph, without any break, without any map is not a person who can easily make a person understand what he or she is trying to say. Therefore, UPSC does not want you. You should be able to make the people understand what law you are making, what policy changes you are making. A person who writes this way presumably doesn't know how to make someone understand what you are trying to say. Everything will be lost in the text. The UPSC does not want a researcher. You don't have to write research paper here. If we do this, so let's go for middle of 82.5°, 90° east. This wasn't first of all the demand of the question. So even if you are suggesting this, you are suggesting something which has never been done before. So researcher is not required. An administrator makes governance easy, not difficult. So write easy answers, not this ridiculous text which no one wants to read. So now this is the demand of UPSC. In mains your marks are counted, in prelims your marks are not counted. So presentation matters. You should be, as an IAS, able to present your data in a way that the politician can understand, that the people of India who are illiterate can understand. They won't understand this way. How will they understand? So this is English and Hindi. Your question is written. This is the question. So how would I have attempted this? The way I have actually attempted this in mains this year from 8th to 17th of January 2021. I would write something like this. The standard time is the time followed by a country along the meridian which passes through the center of it or from its most important city, etc. Nations are free to choose their own standard times. For example, Russia has 11 time zones, so 11 standard times, etc. India has only one, that is 82.5°. Now this way I told him that I know what time zone is, what standard time is, what Indian standard time is I have mentioned it as 82.5° east. Then I will make two parts of the question to make it easy for the examiner to check my answer. First will be 90° plus 82.5°. This seems to be a plausible scenario. This seems to be possible, but there are some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages in point form. Advantages: the northeast, if we follow 90° also, if we follow 82.5° east, even right now northeasterners would be awake early, because they will have to be awake when these people are awake. These people wake up later. Northeastern would still be awake. So if we follow 90° plus 82.5°, we have solved their problem. So now northeast won't wake up early. They can wake up according to their time. Their office will begin according to 90° east, their own time. What are the other advantages? Rest of India won't have to wake up sooner. If you would have shifted to 90°, they will wake up earlier. The rest of India is in dark. It is still to rotate and see sunlight. So rest of India won't have to wake up earlier. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages are, you follow two time zones. You adjust your clock every time you move from one place to another. What else? The traveling becomes difficult. booking tickets, etc. become difficult. Psychological gap between Northeast increases. Forces of secessionism increase. For example, Nagas. B part, 90 degree only. Advantages. 90 degree only. Advantages accrue to the people of Northeast. Northeast won't wake up sooner. All of India rises early. Early to read, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. If we wake up according to Northeast, they will be waking up when they see the sun. We still haven't seen the sun. We will see it later, so we will be rising in the middle of the night. Gujarat. Now disadvantages. So if we are rising early, we are going to work early, we are getting freed early, we have a lot of leisure time. Third point is leisure time. Disadvantages. People of Gujarat will have to wake up 1 or 2 hours before Arunachal Pradesh in the middle of the night. The children will go to school in the middle of the night. There will be a huge security issue. Women will be traveling early in the middle of the night, in the morning. So what can we say as a line of conclusion? Introduction and conclusion are very important. They fetch you a lot of marks. The existing system, even though there has been some demand from Northeast for 90 degree east longitude to be made or to be recognized along with the existing Indian Standard Time, we should stick to only the existing Indian Standard Time 82.5 degree east, because this has been working well and balances the aspirations of the people of Arunachal and Gujarat. This becomes a very good answer. Along with this, you can also make a diagram to make your answer very interesting. You cannot draw anything outside this, marks are deducted. So if you have already started the map, try to finish it here. This way, there is 90 degree I show you, here is 82.5 degree east I show you, here is 75 degree east. So now you already know, you have already told the examiner that look, I know the locations from where these time zones will pass. So what you have shown, that your knowledge is perfect. And this answer will definitely get more marks despite having the same knowledge as the one in which simple text was written. So you will get approximately 1 mark more than the person who knows exactly as much as you but cannot present it like an administrator should. And 1 mark in 1 question means in GS1 you have 20 questions, so you are getting 20 marks more than the person who knows as much as you. And in 4 GS papers you get 80 marks more. Along with essay and optional paper, you get approximately 100 to 120 marks more. You become an IAS. That person who writes boring text is not in the list. His name doesn't figure in the list. Assuming it's a general category, in 100 to 120 marks, everything finishes. This is what you have to do. Prelims is all about guessing. Once you have gained some knowledge, once you have gained the knowledge of what another person has, the difference will be both of you will be guessing. The ones whose guess fit accurately will win. In mains, the demand is answer writing, not knowledge. With same knowledge, you can create the difference. The other person won't be in the list. In interview, there are different requirements. So do not think that IAS is a game of hard work and is the most difficult entrance exam in the world. I realized this very late. Coaching institutes made me realize this, that prelims is a game of guessing, mains is a game of answer writing. So practice as much as answer writing as you can. So IAS doesn't mean hard work. IAS means smart work. Do smart work. Make your answer as good as possible to see. Tell that examiner you know everything. Attempt all parts of the question. Attempt them separately. Show the examiner advantages, disadvantages. Underline the heading. Underline the A part, B part, advantages, disadvantages. Write introduction, write conclusion. Leave empty space a lot. Empty space makes the most difference from an answer which is only text. And obviously your font should be visible, etc, etc. Your text should be aligned. Your lines shouldn't go like this. I told you, if you cannot write straight in the beginning, write on the notebook of children which already have lines, to write simple, smooth and straight text, and then you can shift to white paper. So practice this at home and you will see. Always remember this is the most important requirement for mains. It is not hard work at any level. Prelims it is guessing, in mains it is answer writing. Everyone tries to guess in prelims, but those who make it are the ones whose guess fit in the paper. If you are attempting prelims, you need to attempt at least 50 marks to get 50 questions, at least to get 100 marks. And generally the maximum you can attempt is 100 questions worth 200 marks. Generally those who are beginners should attempt 85 questions worth 170 marks, because negative marking is there. The peak will come at 100 questions. Those who attempt all 100 questions tend to benefit than the person who attempts only 85 questions. But this person, there is a trick here. There is some unseen information here. That unseen information is negative marking. This person is good at knowledge. He knows everything. He is the one who is giving the 4th, 5th, 6th attempt. If you are giving first, second attempts, do not get stuck in the negative marking in the rest of the 15th questions. So if it's your first, second, third attempt, go for at least 85 questions. Below 85, below 80, you won't make it most probably. And this brings us to the end of longitudes. Why wasn't the question about 75 degree east? Why doesn't this figure in the question? We can also shift to 75 degree. What is the problem? If we shift to 75 degree, all of India starts living according to the people of Gujarat. So now what is the problem? We will wake up when Gujarat wakes up. All of us. Arunachal Pradesh will be long awake. They will see the sun the most. Then they will keep waiting for 1 or 2 hours for Gujarat to be awake. So they will be awake a lot. They won't have anything to do. And at 5 p.m. when the office will close in Gujarat, they would be already having 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So they will be traveling home in the middle of the night. It will be dangerous for females. It will be dangerous for children. In this case, you are traveling in the middle of the night in the morning. So it is less dangerous. If you follow 90 degree, here the people would be waking up in the middle of the night. People would be traveling in the middle of the night in the morning, let's say 5 a.m. If people here are getting up at 6 a.m., you are getting up at 5 a.m., it's much less dangerous for women to travel at 5 a.m. But if you are following this time and you are going home at 5 p.m., then you are going home at 6 p.m. here, it's much more dangerous, especially in winters when sun already leaves at 4 p.m. So this or 82.5 degree is best, this is the worst. And that's why this is never the question. The people of Gujarat, even if they ask the Indian government to change the standard time to 75 degree east, this demand will be rejected and should be rejected for being absolutely ridiculous. This is about longitudes. The NCERT also mentions about these time zones which the world follow. And that's all for today. We will resume with 23.5 degree tilt and formation of seasons tomorrow in Hindi video 9. Thank you.